Thank you for having me. Today, um, I will not only be discussing about leadership. I'll be introducing um, the framework that I came up with, which is the Peem leadership framework. And this framework was to shape the future of effective leadership. Um, I'll be talking about redefining leadership, how leadership refinement is important in our society. So, leadership has always been a topic close to my heart, not just because of its importance in shaping individuals, but because it has the power and the capability to transform societies. Over the years, I have observed how both exceptional and poor leadership impact communities, organizations, families, and even nations. This inspired me to dig deeper into the factors that shape leaders and influence our society. It has led me to create this impactful, insightful, transformative framework, which is the Peem framework. And this framework is a way to dissect and understand what makes a leader effective, and just as importantly, what creates leadership gaps. Today, I am excited to introduce and explore with you on the leadership framework I came up with for effective leadership. Leadership is more than a position, it is a force. It shapes individuals, transforms communities, and determines trajectory of nations. But here is the problem. Too many people assume leadership is an accident of birth, a privilege given to a few, and that is a big lie. Leadership is molded, crafted, refined, and today I am going to be showing you exactly how. Welcome to the Peem Leadership Framework. My name is Olamilekan Israel. I am a management consultant, transformative coach, author, and also a speaker. What is Peem leadership? What is Peem leadership? Peem acronym is a framework, stands for, which is the P stand for the parental influence. E stand for the environmental influence, which is we can call it also the societal influence. The next E stand for experience, and M stand for the mentorship. These four defining forces behind defines the forces behind every leader. When we understand these factors, we can understand why some leaders inspire and why others destroy. More importantly, we can use this insight to shape the next generation of transformational leaders. As I've written here, I said something about why, by understanding and applying the Peem framework, individuals can unlock their full potential and create meaningful visionary change within their teams, organization, and communities. Why leadership matters. Why leadership matters. We must look around us and decide why leadership matters. Leadership is everywhere. It is in government, in businesses, in our homes. But we have to be honest. Many of today leaders fail us. Why? Because leadership is not just about strength, it is about character, it is about vision, it is about empathy. And yet, in many society, especially in a place where I grew up, we celebrate leaders for their authority, but ignore their lack of emotional intelligence and ethical grounding. So this is where the Peem comes in. But I believe with the right leadership, we can build thriving environments that encourage innovation, inclusivity, and resilience. The foundation of leadership. The foundation of leadership, which is the first P of the acronym, which is the parental influence. A child's first experience of authority comes from their parents, where they raised with discipline and compassion, or where they were conditioned to lead through fear. These early lessons shape how future leaders think, act, and influence others. These early lessons, these early foundations shapes our mindset, molds us to become what we are today. If parents instill accountability, empathy, and resilience, I believe their children grow into effective leaders who uplift. If they instill fear and avoidance, I believe their children grow into leaders who oppress. We can actually rewrite our leadership script by reflecting on this influence, by managing this factor, which is the parental influence, and consciously choosing the quality we want to embody. The third in this acronym is the environmental, which is the societal influence. So I chose the environment, which is the lens of perspective, where a leader's where leader grows up also matters. The environment at which they were raised also matters. It carries a very big effect and it must not be underestimated. Now, was their environment nurturing or hostile? Did it encourage innovation or punish it? Some society teaches leaders what is acceptable. If corruption is normal, they embrace it. If integrity is valued, they embody it. Leaders do not rise in isolation. They are reflections of cultures that shape them. And if we want a better leader in our society, we must build a better environment. Like the society that I come from, to raise an effective leader in this society is very rare because the society is flawed. So I came up with this framework because I know the negative effect of finding yourself in the wrong society with the right mindset. So leaders who rise above hostile limiting circumstances demonstrate adaptability and resourcefulness, qualities critical for leadership in uncertain times. So these environmental factors also matters a lot in raising effective leaders. The next is experience, the shaper of wisdom, which I call it. Some leaders are shaped by challenges, others are weakened by them. Adversity builds wisdom, but only if it is processed with the right mindset. Leaders who face real challenges, failures, setbacks, obstacles, develop resilience and adaptability. But without meaningful experience, a leader may lack depth, making decisions based on ego rather than wisdom. So great leaders are not those who avoid hardship, but those who transform it into strength. So the experience of leaders also matters. Well, the experience, their educational experience, their the journey they walked through before they became a leader also matters. Their societal experience, their all factors of experience matters in shaping our leadership mindset, and it must not be ignored. The last M in the leadership Peem framework acronym, I call it the guiding force. It means behind every great leader is a mentor. It is mother ego that mentors the eaglet to fly. So mentorship is the bridge between potential and greatness. The mentors we choose either refine us or corrupt us. A visionary mentor instills integrity, wisdom, and courage. A poor mentor reinforces power, hunger, and selfishness, which means if we want to predict the future of a leader, we must look at who is advising them. Today, in my society, we are growing wicked leaders because they are being the successor leaders are following the wrong leaders. We shouldn't expect a leader that was mentored by a demon to act like an angel. Like I used to say, a leader that was being mentored by demons will automatically act like a demon. So mentorship also matters. If your mentor is not ethical, you also be unethical. If your mentor is not visionary enough, you also not be visionary. If your mentor does not also carry empathy, you will be carrying apathy. So mentor also matters. So for those of us without access to mentors, resources like books, webinar, and self-reflection can provide guidance. We must remember that great leaders are both students and teachers, and we must be able to manage the mentors that we follow, because this factor is one of the factors that we must look at, because what mentors instill and influence to their followers is what the followers has become. The next slide I will be talking about connecting the Peem frame elements. Connecting the Peem elements. Connecting the Peem elements. So each of these elements of Peem is interconnected. A leader raised with strong parental values in a nurturing environment with meaningful experience and guided by the right mentor becomes unstoppable. But when these foundations are broken, leaders emerge who lack direction, empathy, and accountability. So the good news is Peem is not just about understanding leadership, it is about fixing it. This leadership framework is not to condemn, criticize, or crucify any wrong leader, but it is to fix leader, to fix wrong leader, to fix wrong effective leader into if the right effective leader, is to fix unethical leader into ethical leadership, is to also raise and manage the upcoming leaders to understand the difference between ethical leaders and unethical leaders and the benefit behind these uh, ethical leaders. Thank God the next slide is talking about the benefit of Peem leadership. The benefit of Peem leadership. When leaders embrace this impactful Peem framework, they lead with wisdom and vision. They create positive and lasting impact. They inspire growth and transformation. They build trust and ethical leadership. And this is the kind of leadership that I believe everyone desire and the world needs. They commit to change, they surround themselves with positive influence, they invest in the right mentorship, they enhances decision making and problem solving abilities. They build trust and foster collaborative cultures, and they prepares leaders to adapt and thrive in a changing world. They also have character, which is persistence, discipline. The next slide is talking about addressing leadership flaws, turning our weaknesses into strength. As I said earlier, I said this leadership does not come to expose wrong leadership. It has come to fix wrong leadership and birth effective leaders that we all need in our environment, in our society, to make the world a better livable place. Now, we have to be honest with ourselves. Many leaders are failing us, and many leaders have failed us in the past. But leadership flaws are not accidents. They are symptoms of neglected Peem elements. They have neglected these factors that I've mentioned earlier. A corrupt leader likely had a broken mentorship. An oppressive leader likely lacked positive parental influence. A weak leader likely never faced meaningful challenges, so they become ineffective. If we want a better leader, then we must begin to fix their foundations and fix these factors that I've earlier mentioned in the Peem framework. The real world impact of Peem. Real world impact of Peem. Imagine a nation where leaders are raised with integrity at home, where community nurture innovation instead of stifling it. Sorry. Where leaders are hardened by experience and guided by ethical mentors. It means this is not just a dream, it is possible, and it starts right here with us. So which means it is a tool for shaping organizational culture and societal progress. The leadership has come with a force that we ignore a lot. And leadership does not only create culture, it also creates the environment that we found ourselves. So by fostering effective leaders, we are going to be building stronger team, drive sustainable initiatives, and leave a positive legacy for future generations. Redefine your leadership today. Redefine your leadership today. Leadership is not all about titles, it is about impact. Leadership is not about accumulation, it is about contribution. Leadership is not about power, it is about empowerment. So I leave you with this challenge. Examine your own Peem factors. Who Ask yourself who has influenced you. Ask yourself what shaped your mindset. We must ask ourselves who are our mentors, and we must also assess ourselves and ask ourselves this question, that are we becoming the leader we were meant to be, or we have actually taken over the legacy of our wrong, or the influence of following the wrong leader. Great leaders don't wait for transformation, they always create it, like the one I am doing right now. So it is time for us to redefine our leadership. It is time for Peem. I hope you enjoy this introduction.